Welcome to the AutoSuccess Executive Spotlight. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today my guest is Skip Dowd. He's the Chief Sales Officer at Xcite. Welcome to the show.
Boy, thanks, Brian. Appreciate being here.
Great, we're glad to have you. Let's just dive right in with a little bit about you and your career path. Tell us something about yourself and how you got to where you are today with Xcite.
Yeah, just finishing up my 31st year in automotive advertising and retail. I started back in 1991 as an Auto Trader magazine salesperson, and kind of worked my way up through the ranks as that company grew. Ended up spending 19 years there with Auto Trader, Autotrader.com. Was real involved in a startup back then called Automart.com, which was awesome, and eventually integrated into Auto Trader. I left in 2009 and joined a startup. I kind of got the startup bug. The startup was a chat and text company called Contact at Once, which I ended up spending 9 years at. We grew it really big. I think put about 13,000 dealers on, kind of the first to market. Did a lot of OEM deals, a lot of deals with the third parties, trying to introduce chat to the dealers, and had a great run there. That was eventually acquired by LivePerson, and I exited 4 years later and joined Xcite. And so this is my third company. I've been here since 19, and I'm really enjoying it.
Great. You've been a part of a lot of great teams, and let's focus on the one that you're on now. Tell us a little bit about Xcite, and what type of how do you help dealers, and what type of products do you offer?
Yeah, for sure. So at our core, we're a vehicle merchandising company. So everybody knows getting good content up online is critical. And with ever-changing inventories, that is not only do you have to have the right photos and the right software, but you got to have the right people to deal with the ever-changing inventory. So at our core, that's what we do, and we do it really well. We're all employee-based. In fact, we have over 500 photographers. We lovingly call them frontliners out in the country in about 37 markets, and their job is to stop by dealers usually 3 to 5 times a week and shoot all of the vehicles, photos, 360s, and videos, and that's the core of our service. We've made big investments in the point of purchase marketing for dealers, vehicle window stickers. We have a product called Xcode, which is helping connect shoppers on the lot, helping them get the information they want, opting them in for a text conversation with the dealer, and we pass the phone number off to the dealer. We've had a lot of success with that. Just recently, just launched, and we've got over 100 dealers on that. And that's kind of the core of business. We got a lot of new stuff coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, vehicle merchandising is constantly changing, and like what worked 10 years ago doesn't work today. What trends do you see coming, to dealers in the near future and further off?
Yeah, so there is definitely a trend and acknowledgement of how important merchandising is. That's ongoing. I see a trend with definitely with larger dealer groups and OEMs who want to consolidate processes and put a common approach to the photography of their vehicles. Like if you think about the content of a website or a dealer's marketing, maybe 60 to 70% of that visual content is the photo or the 360 imagery or the video. And so if you really want a good-looking website and you really want good-looking marketing, you've got to focus on that. And dealers that want to have a brand that's consistent across regions and states, need to have a common process and practice in place across dealerships. So we really come in and help with that, and that trend is benefiting us.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about your studio business. I'm curious. I know that's something you guys have been really doing well at lately. Share with us a little bit about the studio business.
Yeah, so we acquired a startup called Car Studio Pros in 2020. It was launched by a super creative entrepreneur who really spent 4 or 5 years trying to figure out how to in the smallest area possible get the best photos possible. So We offer Car Studio Pros to the country's dealer base. It's if you want exceptional imagery, this is going to deliver it. It's got a full lighting throughout the entire studio. It's designed to be at your dealership, either in one of your bays or in an outbuilding. The lighting's incredible. There's a turntable. It's all connected by software, so about half the process is automated, and it'll shoot as the car rotates around the studio. It'll shoot the exact same image at the exact same time of each of your vehicles, and with the same lighting, and it just produces outstanding images.
Cool. I'm just curious. How long does it take? As when you pull a car in and then you start the process. To take as it spins and takes the photos. Like what from start to finish? How long is it? Is it a minute? Is it 10 minutes?
Now
is it 15 minutes?
It's we call it 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
We always kid in the business that it takes longer to find the car and get the keys and get the car into wherever you're going to shoot it, whether it's in a studio or out on the lot, than it does to actually shoot the photos. So, we kid a lot that you're paying us to get the car and get it positioned more than you are to actually shoot the photos. That's kind of a real thing.
Yeah. How often are the keys where they're supposed to be? Sometimes they're in somebody's desk or in somebody's pocket, or the guy whose day off it is took them home with him.
Right. We're working on some software to deal with that. Yeah.
Really? Oh, to open the door or to track the keys?
Well, maybe not that. Just keep track of things a little bit more. We've got a lot of incentive to help dealers with process and being efficient. It takes a lot to get cars online ready, and between the reconditioning processes, cars going off-site or on-site, what department's it in, and we're right smack in the middle of that with 1,200 dealers. So we've got a real look at it, and we're building some things to help. Yeah. Cool.
I want to circle back a little bit to the merchandising because as technology automates some of the processes, and we're not using film or anything like that, so there's no limit to how many photos can be taken. Are we going to see more photos, less photos, more videos, less videos? Are spins going to eliminate photos? What are dealerships' websites going to look like in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so first off, I think that all three are relevant: photos, spins, and videos. And I think that as technology continues to progress, that's all going to be one system instead of shooting photos here, doing spins here, and shooting videos here. That technology is going to be combined in the future, I believe. And whether you should have 8 photos or 32 photos, going back to once you've taken the time to position the car and get it set up and get it cleaned, to snap 30 photos versus 8 photos in today's world,
no difference.
It's very limited difference, and so there's no reason not to put the 30 photos on. I'm a big proponent of the spin softwares that are out there. Had some light bulb moments on that as that technology has evolved over the years. And it allows the shopper to be in control. Scrolling through 32 photos, I want to see the dash. Well, is that photo 17 or photo 16? Or waiting for a video to play. There's value there, but I think with the current technologies that are being involved with the virtual tours and the 360s, where the shopper on their phone can be in control of where they want to go and see what they want to see of that vehicle. I think that's the future.
Yeah, I mean it's like when you're looking at a house online. When you're looking at a house online, you can look at any part of the room. You can move to a different view. You can. It makes sense. Like that, you find yourself like down a rabbit hole. All of a sudden, you're looking at a house you're not even interested in. You've been looking at it for 10 minutes. That's kind of the goal of the spin. You get in there and you're spinning, you're controlling it, you're interacting with it.
Yep.
You're kind of taking ownership of that vehicle.
It's you being in control. That's what shoppers want.
Cool. Well, you have a lot of experience around the digital retailing space, and now people are talking about the virtual car buying experience, and the metaverse is out there too. Like here are all these crazy things that are threatening brick and mortar. Tell me your feelings on that.
Man, so first of all, I think dealers always win.
Yeah.
I've been hearing for 30 years how they're going to be a thing of the past, and I just don't buy into it. Dealers are incredible businessmen, and they have a businessmen and women, and they have an incredible way of navigating the changing markets. And as far as digital retailing, I'm a proponent, of course. The technology's been evolving for 10 years. The technology to buy a car online is there, clearly. But it's that process of actually doing it when it's a $70,000 purchase or a $40,000 purchase, and literally clicking a button and saying, "Am I comfortable with that?" In my days at Contact at Once and Live Person Autos, we were integrating in with a lot of the digital retailing providers out there, and we believed, and I still believe, that there has to be some type of a concierge mode, or there should be some type of a concierge, whether it's messaging or whether it's connecting by video. When somebody's got questions, they're trying to fill their forms out, and they've got questions before they hit the button. I just think the brands that figure out how to service that fast are going to win. And as I fast forward to my days now with Xcite Automotive, our role is on the front end of making the images the best that they can be for somebody that might be buying a $60,000 vehicle, sight unseen. The better those photos, the better those imageries, the better that experience is, the more likely it's going to happen.
Yeah, I always wonder, like with digital retailing, if you've got a person who has a down payment, has a decent credit score, can afford the vehicle, and that transaction is a lot easier than the person who wants more car than they can afford. They're upside down in their trade. Their credit is maybe not worthy. I agree with you. I think the concierge, somebody to hold your hand through the process.
Yep.
I mean, because those are hurdles that you and I might have trouble doing without somebody to help us through if we had those issues.
That's right. Yeah, we know the business, and I think if we were going to go buy a $60,000 vehicle today, we would still have questions.
I'd want to drive it, but
right.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Me too.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Well, hey, I want to come back to Xcite a little bit. Can you tell me what's next for you guys? Because you've got a lot of irons in the fire. Mm-hmm. What's next?
Yeah, so we are. We've had a couple announcements over the past several quarters. We're doing what I said earlier. We've got 500 people out on the street working on merchandising with different tools in their hands to produce that outcome. And we want to make them efficient and thereby make our dealers efficient. So we're kind of working on a productivity suite. We acquired, the first part of that was the acquisition of Cars by Text several months ago. Mm-hmm. And we see, very similar to what I said should be happening in the digital retailing process, that should also, text can play a big role in communication internally within a dealership between vendors and department heads. So we're investing in that to do things in the future. You're going to be able to see, like, I'm looking for this vehicle, get a text out there, department heads and vendors are on it, and can respond about where that vehicle is. So statusing of vehicles, we're investing in that. Dealers don't always know where their cars are, and there's good software out there, but it still requires really good process to the dealers to filling out, where we got people on the lot to kind of know where the cars are. So there's opportunities with that. We've been building at the core of it, our frontline software, that we're integrating in with Cars by Text. And there was an announcement just this week with Cox 2M about their vehicle location devices, and we're just kind of secured a partnership with them to bring that to market. Just makes sense, right? Knowing where your cars are is a big step to efficiency, and technology can help with that. And as we combine all these three things together, not only can you text and know what department maybe the car is in, but you could text and have an automated response back with a link to right where it's at. So those things are coming.
That's cool. That'll definitely speed up the process when you're trying to take photos of the car. And as when I was a salesman, that was always a struggle too. Like, you could find the keys, but can you find the car?
Right.
Like, and you got a customer waiting, I sold cars in Ohio in the winter. That was the worst, trying to find the car, because, your feet are wet and it's cold and it's snowing and
I might have been brushing them off for you, trying to get a photo for the old Auto Trader magazine.
yeah, it'd be wonderful to be able to just find the keys and find the car.
Right, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
Hey, before we go, is there anything more you'd like to share with our audience, Skip?
I think that's good. I think that's a good summary of Xcite. I appreciate the time and the forum here, and looking forward to inventories returning. It's been quite a couple of years, and appreciate our customers out there and our dealers, and looking forward to the next 31 years automotive retail.
Yeah. I have a question about that. What's your opinion on when inventory levels will return to what they were, or will they ever return to that?
Yeah, well, I've been wrong for the last 2 years, so I don't know what that. I don't know whether I'm a good source for that. But honestly, we do put a lot of time into this, and we are already seeing new car inventories returning. We're I think kind of not optimistically, probably conservatively estimating like 2% a month return to inventories. We aren't expecting it to ever get back to the way it was.
Yeah.
We're definitely already seeing new car inventories come back on the lots, and expecting that to happen throughout the next 18 months.
Cool. Thank you for joining us, Skip.
Oh, you got it. It was a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this AutoSuccess Executive Spotlight. We hope to see you again soon. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today my guest was Skip Dowd. This episode is Over the Curb and Burning Gas.